Thank you, Madam Chair. Honorable Chair, honorable members of the European Parliament, good afternoon. Before I begin, allow me to take a moment to express my deepest sympathy and solidarity with the people of Valencia, who have suffered immensely because of the recent flood. This great disaster reminds us of the need to intensify our response to climate change with adaptation and mitigation measures and increase our resilience to such events. The people of Valencia need our support, the support of the European Union, and we must address this matter as one of our highest priorities. Honourable members of the European Parliament, I'm immensely honoured to join you today for this hearing as Commissioner-designate for Fisheries and Oceans. I'm well aware of the great importance of this portfolio entrusted to me by President von der Leyen and the challenges it entails. My scientific background, past government positions, and the very fact of being myself a European islander have prepared me and motivated me for this role. I'm a biologist by training and a professor of biodiversity conservation. I am a strong believer in the power of research as a tool for innovation and the importance of science as the basis for policy making, which is extremely important for this particular portfolio. My teaching and research in biodiversity have given me deep insights into how important it is to ensure the health and productivity of our ecosystems. I have also come to appreciate the crucial role of local communities in sustainable development. Conservation measures are most effective when developed with their cooperation and their support. Beyond my academic career, I have also served in several ministerial posts. I was Minister of Health, then Education and Culture, and most recently, Agriculture, Rural Development and Environment. In that most recent role, I was for 5 years responsible for implementing policies related to fisheries and marine research, and participated actively in most agri-fish ministerial councils. I strongly believe in the importance of democratic institutions, such as the European and national parliaments. If confirmed, I'm committed to work closely with you, maintaining an open channel of communication and cooperation. I also strongly believe that promoting the values of the European Union is fundamental to our work. If confirmed, I will ensure that all policies and initiatives within my portfolio are grounded in the principles of democracy, human rights, sustainability, and the rule of law. Honourable members, the creation of a dedicated fisheries and oceans portfolio is a recognition of the importance the Commission gives to the fisheries and blue economy sectors, including our coastal communities, as well as to the health of our oceans. Europe relies on the oceans and seas for its prosperity and security, and its unique ability to regulate the climate as the biggest carbon sink of the planet. What we do to preserve our oceans and our communities is important for our people today and for our future generations. We must secure sustainable, resilient and competitive fisheries and aquaculture sectors in the European Union. We must further promote our blue economy, and we must protect our oceans and ensure their coherent and sustainable use. These will be my guiding principles as European Commissioner for Fisheries and Oceans if I earn your trust today. Fisheries and aquaculture have a long tradition deeply rooted in the European cultural heritage. The people behind these sectors provide us daily with a source of healthy protein and play an undisputable role in the European Union's food security. But this noble profession is facing a number of challenges: environmental degradation, competition for maritime space, overfishing, or even illegal fishing, lack of international level playing field, and the need for modernization. At the same time, the challenges faced by our small-scale fishers are very different from the challenges faced by large-scale and distant water fleets. And challenges also differ from one sea basin to another, from the Baltic and the Mediterranean and the Black Sea to the North Atlantic Ocean and our outermost regions. I intend to tackle these challenges comprehensively, but also in a targeted manner. Ensuring the sustainability of the fisheries sector goes hand in hand with ensuring the sustainability of the ecosystems it depends on. This is why I will support Member States in implementing EU legislation to ensure healthy and productive marine ecosystems. In parallel, I will lead the comprehensive evaluation of the common fisheries policy to ensure that it is fit in today's evolving context and can address emerging challenges. The evaluation will include a broad stakeholder consultation through all our forums of engagement. If confirmed as Commissioner, I will come to this committee to present and discuss with you the results which are expected by the end of next year. And let me make a promise today. If the evaluation points to weaknesses, I will not hesitate to recommend the necessary legislative action to refine and enhance the common fisheries policy, preceded by an impact assessment or any other appropriate measures. The evaluation of the CFP will also fit into our vision for the fisheries and aquaculture sector with a 2040 perspective. It will pay equal attention to environmental, social, and economic dimensions, including the necessary modernization and the decarbonization of our fleets. In this context, I will be attentive to the social dimension. Improving our competitiveness also means taking action about the way we trade with third countries and the way we market our own sustainable production in the EU. I want us to achieve a better level playing field for our hard-working fishers by promoting the European Union standards in all international forums. I will work closely with my fellow commissioners to better valorize sustainable fishing products on the European market and leverage the power of the internal market. The sector needs to be part of the discussions on the future of our food system. Of equal importance is to ensure stability and predictability of access to traditional EU fishing grounds and historical quotas in the Northeast Atlantic. I will make sure that in the relationship with the UK post-2026, the interests of our fishers are safeguarded, as we did in the negotiations of the Trade and Cooperation Agreement. I will also make sure that fisheries are part of a comprehensive approach to our bilateral relations with Norway, building on the successful high-level dialogue that has been started a few months ago. Moreover, I will lead the efforts for a renewed approach to our sustainable fisheries partnership agreements in line with our regional strategies and priorities. I will further lead global efforts for a zero-tolerance approach to illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. At the same time, I will dedicate much of my attention to developing the full potential of the EU aquaculture, while improving animal welfare standards. Investing in aquaculture will help us to reduce our dependence on imports and create green jobs and sustainable growth. The competitiveness and resilience of the fisheries sector will largely depend on its ability to diversify its sources of energy and decrease the vulnerability to high fuel prices. By the end of 2025, I will deliver the energy transition roadmap for the fisheries and aquaculture sector's carbon neutrality with a 2050 perspective. Moreover, a competitive and resilient sector is a sector that takes into account the social dimension. I would like us to address issues such as occupational health and safety, the aging boats, labor and skills shortages, the prominent gender gap, the aging workforce, and the need for generational renewal. These issues will be the core of the Fisheries and Oceans dialogues that I will hold. The Fisheries and Oceans dialogues will also play a role in the development of a European Oceans Pact, which will frame a holistic and coherent approach across all policy areas linked to the ocean. The Pact will pursue three strategic objectives, all of equal importance: pursuing healthy and productive oceans and protect biodiversity, boosting an EU blue economy, and expanding European Union's marine knowledge framework. The Pact will be a roadmap for the mandate to come, and we aim to present it in time for the 2025 Ocean Conference in Nice next June 2025. It aims at maintaining the climate mitigating role of the oceans while developing the economic potential. Research and innovation are the driving forces for a competitive and resilient blue economy and for effectively protecting our oceans. I will therefore prepare the European Union Ocean and Research and Innovation Strategy. I will also support the Member States in optimizing spatial planning to better achieve the objectives for nature and energy, food production, shipping, maritime safety and security. I want the fisheries sectors also engaged in the process. I will further explore the feasibility of European blue carbon reserves, as well as other possibilities for developing a new blue economy model for our coastal communities. In this context, I will also contribute to the climate adaptation plan, as coastal areas are highly vulnerable to the negative impact of climate change. You have seen what happened a few days ago in Valencia. Of course, the European Union cannot work alone to ensure that oceans are used sustainably. This is a global endeavor. And this is why I want to strengthen our ocean diplomacy. The European Union must continue to lead the global efforts to deliver on the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, especially SDG 14, Life Below Water. To do this, I will ensure that the EU steps up its leadership on the protection and restoration of the marine environment in Europe and globally. I will also work towards the entry into force of the High Seas Treaty ahead of the United Nations Oceans Conference in Nice in June 2025. This also includes the necessary incorporation into EU law with a specific goal of protecting at least 30% of the high seas by 2030. Honourable members of the European Parliament, I'm well aware that this is a busy agenda. This is my plan. It has been enriched through my exchanges with you. You shared with me the worries and the concerns of the European citizens you represent. I have listened to you carefully. If confirmed as Commissioner, one of my very first actions will be to visit our coastal communities on the ground. I want to listen to them and assure them that decisions taken in Brussels will reflect their concerns and their aspirations. I want them to know that they will have a champion in me, because I am one of them, an islander from Cyprus. In these efforts, I would like to have you, honourable members of the European Parliament, by my side, because we have a European goal in common, a strong and resilient fisheries sector, and a global lead in the preservation and sustainable use of our precious ocean. Thank you for your attention.
Muchas gracias, señor Kostas Kadí.